Sector Warcast. I'm here to tell you about, or provide commentary for this at a round 3 game between Carl Anderton of our own Traxxas Sector Warcast and Dan, who's playing Packmaster Kith. This is a store championship of Total Escape Games in March of 2016. I've got my bedroom voice on because I've just woken up. I've lost an hour, as many of you have, to the daylight quote-unquote savings time. So here we are. We have Barlas, Karnath, Yvarn, Taurus, and Osis 4 as our planets. Carl goes ahead and plays a Void Pirate. Carl has found his passion. It's an Eldaroth Starbane construction. He's thinks he's found the good mix, although talking to him, he's still unsure about 3 or 4 cards in his deck. It's a pretty impressive thing. I have not played him yet as of this video being recorded, but I did play him in the next round, and it's a pretty awesome deck. It's pretty awesome. So Carl has found his playstyle he likes, which is something that all of us, there's enough playstyles in Conquest that all of us should find that. All right. So Dan is playing Packmaster Kith, and he plays a Slith Mercenary on Osis 4. Oh, and there comes a Destructor for Barlas. So Barlas, being a single green planet, is not going to be, well, yeah, you could get a green win on 4, and then you could get a blue or red win on 4 as well if you get 2, 3, and 4. But if Carl manages to retain his initiative planets, which are 1, 3, and 5 here, he will win on green. Oh, and there's an Incubus Warrior, often seen in Packmaster Kith decks for his 2 command icons, his cheap 2 cost. Wow. He can go down to a Sicarius' Chosen, of course, or really anything with 1 damage. Anything that does 1 damage. But how often? Oh, and there's a Autarch, the unique 3/3 Eldar unit that you can pay to give Armorbane, mobile, or area effect of 1. And that you can do that for once per phase. And that's Richard Gerbrand, who just stuck his head in. Oh, Chaos Fanatics on 4. There's a promotion. All right. Now it's looking like, you know, Eldar doesn't, the problem, the weakness I see with Eldaroth is that he doesn't necessarily want to go to planets where there's going to be a little bit of fighting. He wants to go to planets where there's going to be a lot of fighting because he wants to take advantage of his big bad units hidden for big. All right, so I don't know if I would go to 4 here for Carl to protect that Void Pirate. Or if I would go to, maybe I'd go to 2. Yeah. Oh, and the Packmaster Kith comes in and goes to 4. So they exchange. So they exchange snipes. And if Carl even has a superiority, it doesn't matter. The superiority is, I think it's the event that takes command icons from somebody, right? Yeah, superiority. So then Carl wins Barlas. Gets a Siren Zai. Gets a Siren. Ooh, which could be huge. Huge, huge. That's a huge pull for Carl. Yeah, so Carl is investigating what planet trigger he wants to do. Carl is playing with the newer Team Covenant tokens. The Team Covenant, if you guys are watching, if anybody there is watching, he's using the first planet marker. He has got the resource tokens. You haven't seen any damage markers on Carl's side of the table though, but they are very impressive. I bought myself a set. I used it, and then I decided that both of my colleagues in the podcast had to have them. So if you've actually listened to episode 24, you hear us, you hear me put them out in front of them, but they didn't. Oh, Elowith is the next planet, but they didn't realize that I was actually gifting the tokens to them. So they're like, yeah, okay, these look good, wonderful, but I was actually giving them to them. So that's a big joke we have now. They didn't realize what they had when I gave them to when I gave them to them. So, all right, so here we are. Elowith is the next planet. Carl is not in a bad position. Well, I don't know. He's got 1 unit to Dan's 3. He's got 6 resources to Dan's 8. So he needs to try to leapfrog this. I think if I were Carl, I would probably go. The red-blue doesn't really matter. So I don't know that I would go all in on planet 1. I would try to delay, mask, and then I would commit to 2. Maybe play a unit, if I could, a command unit at, he has to pay for Warlock Destructor. I'd play a command unit on 5, if at all possible. And then commit to 2 with the Destructor. But again, it might change within a couple plays on Dan's part. Oh, there you go. All right, I'm calling it. Carl, you and I think alike. Oh, Carl, what are you doing? Oh, no. You don't want to play it there. Oh, Carl. Oh. That's a good place over there on Elowith. I know maybe you don't have the command hammers. Maybe you can't keep the command hammers from him, but because you don't want him to fight at 2, right? I don't think so. Ooh, suffering. Look at that. Nice. So I played Dan earlier. I played Dan in round 1, and he played Kith. I played War in this tournament, and he didn't demolish me, but man, there was one pull. He triggered Barless. I think this is where the game went south for me. On the first turn, second battle, I won the first planet, but then I had 4 cards in my hand, and he pulled Ammo Depot, the one Ammo Depot in my deck. And yeah, you should put Starbane's Council. You don't need 3, Carl. You don't need 3. Anyways, I'm a little bit of a homeboy commentator, folks. It's just my nature. Dan's doing well, but Carl's just playing differently than I would, of course, right? I don't really know how to play Kith very well, so Dan can do what he wants, and I can't comment. I can't really provide any valuable commentary on his side. So, anyways, Dan pulled an Ammo Depot in an earlier game, and then from then on out, he had serious command lock on me, and I was drawing 1 or 2 cards, so I had very few cards in my hand, if any, that game, and he won. He played it well. So he passes to Carl. It's always dangerous to see 5 resources on the Kith side of the table. Ooh, and he gives mobility to Starbane's council. Ooh, that's huge. Now, if the Void Pirate had been over on 5, I think we'd be set. So where's Carl gonna go? Where's Dan gonna go? I think Dan is gonna go. I would go to 1 because Dan sees the writing on the wall. He sees 1, 2, 3 as his winning planets. So he goes to 1, and he gets the Selechia, the Artark. The Bloodied Reavers are there. They'll strike first for 4. The Artark's only striking for 1, or AE1. So, I would go to 1 if I were Dan. If I were Carl, I'm going to 2, or not. See, I can pick Dan. I can't exactly pick. Wow, so he stays away. Nice. Okay, Carl. All right. Well, I would have gone to 2 with your guys and then recommitted to 3. Yeah, and there's a mistake Carl made. He exhausted the Chimera for defense purposes, and didn't exhaust the Chaos Fanatics, and then lost the command struggle on 3. So here's the Autark. Gonna get pummeled. So Carl paid 1 to give Selechia mobile at the end of the command phase. Yeah, he's explaining exactly what mobile is to Dan. Dan's not a new player, but he sometimes he doesn't play various decks, and he doesn't play as frequently as some of the rest of us. All right, so Dan takes red blue in the form of Karnath, and he looks to what he's going to target. He can't trigger Yvarn or Taurus. Sorry, he can't trigger Taurus, so he's going to trigger Eloith and look at 3 cards. God, he's got 7 resources. Wow. Well, if you're ready, then you win. Ready, then you win. Oh, wow. And then what's the next planet? So Dan is on the train. So Dan can win if he wins the next 2 planets. Farron is the next. Farron is the next planet. So that probably won't. They probably won't get that far. So now if Carl can win this, because this is a Tricon planet, it doesn't look good right now. Well, Carl has a 1-3 and a 0-1 unit. It's planet. So. Oh, but Starbane's Council is mobile. That is true. Warlock Destructor. Has he paid for Warlock Destructor? No, he hasn't. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he remembers, because Kith has 10 resources. No, 12 resources. Wow. When you have 12 resources and you can pay for everything. So, yeah, hopefully Carl will remember the Warlock Destructor, but oh, there he goes. Yep. He's considering whether he's going to pay or not. And he does. All right. Good going, Carl. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's the right decision. I don't know what's in his hand, but it is the rule. Ooh, Vasha Trailblazer. All right. So yeah, see, if the Void Pirate was over there, man. So the Void Pirate would have been on Elowith. He'd have 3 more cards in his hand. He wouldn't necessarily have the resources, but he'd have 3 more cards in his hand. Yeah, so Carl did make some mistakes on this play. I haven't seen any from Dan. Oh, Chimera Masters. So Dan, is in the, oh, yeah, he's probably setting up for, I don't know how many cards Dan has in his hand. It looks like it's going to, in either case, it's going to be a battle at 1 for sure. That's going to be the main battle of the turn, of the round. And then Starbane's Council is on 2 is actually mobile. Oh, there's another suffering. Wow. 2 sufferings. Oh my god. That is rough. I pay for these big bads and they don't do anything. Tommy? I don't know where that came from, folks. I have no idea who Tommy is, why he's playing Conquest, or why he's complaining about how he plays Conquest. It is Sunday morning. My kids are asleep, my wife's asleep, and I'm taking the opportunity of a quiet house to do this commentary. So, yeah, so right now, Chaos 2 is a push on the command struggle. Obviously, Dan's winning 3. Carl is winning 1. Carl is also winning 5 on the command struggle. So this will be interesting. So what happens here? So yeah, I don't have any plans here. I think Carl has to go to 1. I think he has to go to 1 because that's his plan. It's his win condition for green, and he takes it from Dan. An AE1 with the Autark will take care of the 2 Chimeras and not quite the Bloody Grievers. I think he has to go to 1. because then he can bring the council over with mobile. Yeah, he exhausts somebody, brings the council over with mobile. So if Carl goes to 1, he can then take a breath and concentrate on Osa's 4 for the win. Yeah, I think that's how I would do it. Or Carl can do it completely differently. Oh my God! And Dan went to 5. He's got to have war leaders in his hand. Then he's got to have war leaders in his hand. Wow, Dan went to 5. Just getting the command snipe for two more resources. That's insane. $13 resources. That is pretty insane. Cabrera goes on 5. Carl, oh, if you would have gone to 1, I think you'd win. I think you'd win one. Vern. Was he thinking Kith was going to go to 1, and he was trying to protect himself? Oh, this is the first game that I've provided commentary for folks where I would have done things much differently than both players, especially Carl. Oh yeah, okay, so he does move that over. That's good. That's fine. That's good. That works. Except the Chimera, both of them are still untapped, and like Dan has a stack of cards here. I don't know how many, but he has a lot, and he has plenty to play for Clavex. So Clavex could see play here real quick. Let's see. I can't see anything in his hand. Oh, of course he's got an Archon's Terror. So there goes the Starbane Council. Oh yeah, three terrors would take care of everything. Oh no, I guess it wouldn't because the Autarch is not terrorable. Cannot be scared away. So I think Carl. I think you give him. God, give him area effect. Give him area effect. Kill everything. Yeah, folks. I'm a homer, I guess. I don't know that I could actually provide commentary for a team in which I want to win. So Carl's my buddy. If Carl was playing John, it'd be a lot easier. But Carl's not playing John. Carl's playing Dan. So I'm sitting here, but Dan is playing it well. Dan is. So he paid for the area effect 1, and he takes 1, and he shields the Chimera. That's awesome. With good reason. That's the play. If you have the shield, you play it. And then he's gonna clear Clavex War Leader. There it is. I don't know what Carl's thinking about. But there's the war leader. Oh my god, yeah. So here comes all the war leader drops. Oh, Autark isn't damaged though. Autark has the area effect. That's what that resource represents. So here comes the Clayback swing for 3. Oh, so I don't know if Carl would have been able to do anything. Would have been able to do anything. He would have been able to exhaust the Chimera had Eldaroth come here. The Chimera would have been exhausted without the Mind War. Then he can exhaust the Clavex when the Clavex comes in with Mind War. Yeah, yeah. One of the reasons I think I like war is because I hate trying to decide whether I should stay at the planet after a round is over that I'm obviously going to lose. I hate retreating. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Something about it just really bothers me. So I think playing war where I don't have the decision, it's been taken out of my hands, is actually allows me to think about other things. So, oh my God, I can't stand. Sometimes you have to retreat, right? I understand that. But man, I hate having to retreat a unit when I know the battle's dead and I just want to stay and die. Maybe, maybe I've been reading too many Warhammer 40K novels. So, and there goes. And yeah, so here's the chain. So now Dan has 2 reds, 2 blues, and a green, and all he has to do is win that the Yavaren here. I don't know that upon reflection, seeing how that went, I don't know that there's anything that Carl could have done to win the previous planet, to win that Tricon. Um, just because there were so many resources on Dan's side of the table. He has 7 resources now, and now they're going to Farron. One of the reasons war is so powerful is that his ability affects so many phases of the game. When somebody triggers Farron, and you have units at green planets, nothing can happen, right? They can't go anywhere. So you end up instead of your opponent retreats a void pirate or an orc unit or maybe a space marine unit. I don't play any space marines or orcs in my deck. I play void pirates. I have neutral units. I have an ammo depot. So when it comes to Farron being like, oh yeah, go ahead and trigger Farron, and then they can't do anything with it, right? So that's one of the reasons war is quite powerful. It's not a card out of his hand to prevent it from being triggered. Although whatever that is, Fortell is not a bad idea. I like Fortell in Starbane decks especially because Eldaroth will oftentimes be ready. And if I have a Fortell in my hand, I'll make sure and try to have him ready when that combat begins, so I can trigger the use Fortell. Fortell is I believe it's a 0 cost event where you exhaust your warlord to cancel the bad ability when it is triggered. It's an interrupt, of course. So here Dan's sitting on 11 resources. Carl has 7 himself. So, but 11, the difference between 7 and 11 is probably 2 units. And he's not going to pay for the warlock. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Carl's got to go all in on one, right? He's got to go all in on one because if he doesn't, and actually, going all in on one delays everything. If he goes all in on one and gets Dan's one, then he will. Dan can't win until Elowith. A promotion. The Earthcast technician goes and gets a promotion attachment. Of all things, that's pretty. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, the Sleuth Missionary is never coming over to Carl's side of the table. By the way, folks, he might come over for a second, but Carl would only be paying money to get him to come over and have a cup of coffee, and then Dan would be like, "Yeah, come back over. I have more money than you." So, wow, Sleuth Mercenaries. I'm always wary of. I've been wary of them, but in this case, it really works. Sowing Chaos in a Kith deck. Wow. I don't know if I would have paid 2 to get rid of the Vasha. But either way, it's only at the blue planet, so it's that's a good delay. That's actually a pretty good delay. Oh my god. Doom. Doom clears the table. Oh my god, Carl. Oh, but see that's yeah. Oh, I don't know if that helps or hurts Carl. That certainly puts Dan a little bit further back on his heels, but yeah. So did Dan pass? Dan passed. Does Carl realize that the win is at 2 or is the win it's at 1? Does what the is Carl hoping to draw like a saving card? I don't know. It'll be interesting to talk to Carl. We're recording this coming Friday, so listen to episode 25, folks. If you want to hear what Carl was thinking. They're they're uh, they're going through. They're discussing the stacks and stuff. I don't know where that damage token came from, but this does not look good for Carl. Are there any ambushy units? Oh, Gift of Isha. Oh, Gift of Isha. Gift of Isha could be a thing. But Carl has so many, or Dan has so many resources. If he has one Archon's Terror in his hand, the Gift of Isha doesn't matter. Wow, so it's a Warlord on Warlord party for the win. Yeah, there's a gift. And 2 for Archon's Terror. Yeah, yeah, I think that's it for Carl. He's considering whether to concede or not. Oh, and he doesn't have a nullify. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it was a good game. I really want to ask Carl what he was thinking on some of these things, and maybe we'll provide some additional commentary. Have a good one, folks. Thanks for watching.